Arr, mateys, it's me again. I need you to like and subscribe that button. Let us get some followers. Come on, come with us. Hit the little bell while you're at it and get some notifications. So what's on the menu? We go down to Captain D's and hit up the drive-thru and end up with Scurvy with Sea of Thieves, A Pirate's Life. Sea of Thieves is basically a multiplayer or a massive multiplayer online game. It is developed by Rare and produced, or I should say published by Microsoft Studios. This was an original release date of March 20th of 2018. We're kind of revisiting this because they've just released that new update, as I said, A Pirate's Life, and it's a lot of fun. And by the way, it did get a re-release, or at least an update, on November 10th of 2020 with the new Xbox Series and X and S. So let's get into it right now. Let's get into some thoughts and some ideas. Let's spin the roulette wheel, because I like to do that. Let's go with Patrick today. Let's go with Patrick first. Patrick, what'd you think?
We keep coming back to this one every now and then. And as Russ had mentioned, they're in season 3 now, the Pirate's Life theme. It was announced at E3, where they were going to have Jack Sparrow and all his stuff. So I think there's 5 new tall tales with season 3, and they all kind of revolve around Captain Jack Sparrow. So, we ran through a couple of them. The tales are always fun. We enjoy the tales. This one's very much instance, it seems. So you're not having to fight against other players and all this stuff. So it means that we all can participate, and Russ doesn't have to get left behind on the ship again. So Russ can actually join in the fun with us instead of waiting by the ship to make sure we don't get attacked. It adds like new enemies, new armor, new skins, all that kind of good stuff. So there's all kinds of new things that are added in this. I enjoy Sea of Thieves. I'm not a big PvP person, but luckily for this one, it kind of puts everybody on an even playing field with PvP, because there is no such thing as stats. There's nothing like that. Everybody's got the same loadout. Doesn't matter if somebody's got the gold sword or the crappy little rusted sword you get when you start. It all does the same damage. And then, I'm pretty sure even if you're fighting in a dinghy versus a galleon, you still have a chance, because the dinghy can take a little bit more damage, and it's a lot easier to maintain. It's a lot smaller, so you can patch holes. So I think it's fun. I like this game. Like I said, we keep coming back to it. They keep adding content, which means that we can keep coming back to it and not get bored. Nick, what do you think of this one, man?
Yeah, I love Sea of Thieves. I find it extremely fun. It's a fun game to play, and it's fun with your friends. I like the Pirate's Life, this little instance expansion or whatever that they put on here. This Pirates of the Caribbean. I like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I'm guilty as charged. I like the movies. I think they're fun. They're fun to watch, and fun to enjoy. So they're kind of, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies are kind of just those ones that you can just turn your brain off and enjoy. Really you don't have to think about it. So, yeah, and so I like the character of Jack Sparrow and everything like that, and so I find it fun. I find it exciting and fun, and I like seeing all the different characters and various things that they've done with it. And yeah, I really like it. I mean, Sea of Thieves have always been a game that, in the beginning it was really intriguing, and it was kind of the thing where I'm excited to see where this goes. And so far, it's been pretty exciting. I mean, the tall tales are the best part of it, for sure. Selling the sea is great. I mean, the game is beautiful. It's a graphically gorgeous game. Like the sea and everything is just absolutely captivating. How great this game looks. But the tall tales is really where it stands its ground. I mean, it's those expeditions, those tall tales are just so much fun. There's puzzles and fighting and things like that, and you do it with your friends, and it's just a lot of fun. It really comes down to it. It's just a bunch of fun to do. So yeah, I really like this Pirate's Life expansion, and I'm excited to see what else Sea of Thieves brings to us, because I really like this game. I think it's a great game. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for this game. Shane, what about you, man?
I was super excited at E3 to see them, announce this new content. And, scraping the old barnacles off the poop deck and getting back out on the ocean was it was a great time when we fired her up. I mean, first thing, Russ pointed out was, wow, how gorgeous this game looks. The updates they did on it really just amplified everything. I got crap when it first, released, saying, oh man, look how pretty the water is in this game. And now everybody's like, oh my God, look how pretty this game is. The sunrise, the sunset, everything is beautiful. The DLC, the extra content added in, sorry, Pat, is fantastic. The first thing I noticed when we started up A Pirate's Life was the audio. Listening to the ghost pirates talk when they go by you, it is like the Sea of Thieves, the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. I mean, it has almost an automated tone to it when they talk. I grew up with that stuff, and I absolutely loved it, the way they did the sound on it. I thought it was fantastic. This game is a blast. It's four friends goofing around, slapping pirates, hitting high seas, Russ staring at a mast for 2 hours while we float around places. It's a great game. And the DLC on this thing was surprisingly good. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not a big Pirates of the Caribbean guy. I enjoyed the first two. After that, it just got lackluster. But I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed this content, and I am super glad I went back to it. Does anybody feel that they were let down in any way by this? I mean, I know we did encounter the first time we tried it, we encountered some issues.
Well, I think Russ can give us his point of view, since all he gets to do is stare at the mast for the first half of any game.
I know it was kind of fitting, though. Actually, it's perfectly fit. No, I do get to enjoy this game. One of the things that I do, I mean, along with everybody else, the game is graphically gorgeous. The clarity within the new Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S updates is this clarity. It's very clean looking game. It is a lot of fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Nick and Pat really dig these kind of games, these kind of like puzzle games and stuff like that. And, it's just listening and keying in on those words so that I can kind of jump ahead or whatever and help them along with it. Shane's kind of the same way. It's really fun to see the team work together on that stuff. The one thing that I really enjoy about Sea of Thieves myself, and we haven't gotten into too many of them, and it's because it's my time to shine, is when we are PvPing. That means that I'm trying to get that boat in the right spot, getting them shot, fire or shots on target and stuff like that. I actually do thoroughly enjoy that. It was in the first iteration of the game. It was kind of boring a little bit for me because I was the captain, or at least I was the one steering the ship. I don't know that I was the captain, but I was the one at least steering the ship, and it would be. But at the same time, it's still a lot of fun, kind of listening to them scream and yell about needing this or fighting this. And so overall, the game is a fantastic game when it comes to a group of 4 guys, 3 or 2, however you like to roll, and just get out there and enjoy it. They have fishing, they have all kinds of different things. But more specifically with this expansion, I too am like Shane. I'm not a big Pirates of the Caribbean fan. I've seen the first couple of them, and that's great. But it was kind of nice to see something kind of thrown in there too. With the Jack Sparrow. It was a lot of fun. The voice acting is fantastic in this. I mean, everything is really a lot of fun. I cannot see from the conception, as I think Nick was saying, from the conception of this to where we are now is night and day, and they just keep improving. So like if they did this in 3 years, I wonder what like another 2 years or 3 years will be like. So yeah, I mean, that's my take on it.
Cool. Yeah. It's definitely, they've added new enemies, and we've barely scratched the surface on the tails. The tails are long. I mean, the first time, as Shane alluded to, the first time we ran the first of the 5 tails, it bugged on us, and we got all the way to the end, and we're trying to leave the ferry, and it wouldn't let us leave the ferry. And since then, it didn't complete, so we had to rerun the whole one again. But whatever. We missed a few things we wanted to go back and do anyway. That we were like, oh, how do you open this and how do you open that? And we figured out a little too late on how to do those. So. It's got a little bit of bugs, which is nothing was game breaking. I mean, it was a little bit disappointing when we logged back in and realized we had to redo tale number 1 over again, but we planned on doing it anyway, like I said, because we missed things. But we ran through it pretty quick at that point because we already knew what we were supposed to do and how to get to those things and what we'd missed. It's kind of cool to see Disney partner with them a little bit and allow Sea of Thieves, Captain Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones and all those guys together in there. So, and the first tale had not very much combat in it. So I wonder how the other ones, if they're going to be more combat heavy or not. I'd like to get the other 4 in behind us as well. We started on the second one, but as I said, they're long. So you're looking at a minimum of an hour plus if you want to try to grab everything. I think the first time we went through it, I don't remember how long we were in there, 2.5, maybe even close to 3 hours in the first tale, just trying to find where everything was and do all that kind of stuff. So lots of, and I do like that it's instant. So we don't have to worry about PvP at that point. You got to worry about somebody coming up and shooting you in the back or blowing up your ship while you're trying to, find out these secret puzzles and stuff and jump around. It's got a little bit of some platformy stuff, which is a little annoying for me, but overall I enjoy it. And I think we're going to finish up the next Tales series for these one because we did quite a few of the Tales. We haven't done all of the previous Tales stories, but we've done a lot of them.
Yeah, those Tales really make a nice change of pace. Russ doesn't, when we run a typical, point A to point B, Russ spends a lot of time staring at the map. So when we can all get off the boat together, it's a good time. It really is. I was really surprised that Disney took so long to jump in on the Pirates of the Caribbean theme. Microsoft and them working together. I would have figured they'd have done a lot earlier, but I'm good that they wait because the Series XS, they really pumped the game up to another level visually. So I'm happy as heck with it. Load times are much better than they were even on the Scorpio or Xbox One X. God, I hate that naming convention. Rust, were you excited to be able to get off the damn boat?
I mean, yeah. Like I said, I don't mind being on there. I don't mind captaining the ship. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it actually really is a lot of fun. What was really nice about this one too is that I think they added, whereas each tale before kind of had a little aspect of what this one has, he kind of put it all together. We have a little bit of combat, we have a little bit of puzzle solving, we have a little bit of adventure, we have a little bit of story. Whereas the previous tales, maybe there was only one in each one of those. Or they were more like the deliverable stuff. So that was really nice. It's just, I mean, I cannot say it enough. I don't want to sound like a broken record too much, but for a game, for a group of your friends, I mean, if you have 2 or 3 friends, you cannot go wrong with this game. I mean, there is a bit of a learning curve initially with the amount of reputations that you can get and things that you can actually do. It is a little bit daunting initially. But once you kind of get down with what those are and then kind of also look at, I mean, you can fish. I mean, everybody loves fishing. And I mean, especially when you're off the dock, I mean, and there is some fun in going and ambushing somebody while they're at the port. And you kind of see, oh, they're just sitting there. Let's go sink their boat real quick and take their loot. There could be some fun in that as well. So depending on how you are, what you like to play, there's actually, the vastness of this game has actually probably tripled in the time that it was initially released.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were more of the sunk in than the sinkers.
We got a few good ones off.
Yes, we did.
We did.
I would like to, yeah.
But we never really searched out to be buttholes like some of the people we ran into.
Right. I mean, yeah, I think this game has a lot of features to it. You have the skeleton kingdoms or the skeleton pirate places or whatever that show up in the sky. You have the other little things that show up, the shipwrecks that you can go down and get treasure from.
The Kraken.
The Megalodon. You can run into those. I'm excited to see what other big, sea monsters they maybe the Loch Ness monster or something like that they introduce maybe at some point. But yeah, I mean, this game is just a ton of fun. It's one of those live service games that has succeeded, right? We talked about in previous podcasts, we talked about live service games, and I'm not a huge fan of those, but there are some that exceed and do really well. And Sea of Thieves is one of those. It's one of those that has succeeded and has done really well in producing content for its player base. And yeah, this game is just a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun to play with your friends. I mean, like Russ said, you have 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. It's just a ton of fun to sail around. You have someone, steering the ship. You have someone taking a look at the map. You have someone taking care of the sails. In my case, you have someone sitting at the front of the ship playing an instrument, making sure we don't run into rocks. Everyone's got their place. And, once you set that, you kind of expect that, you expect that I'm going to be in the front playing music and waiting for rocks to come in the way and make sure that we're getting to land and making sure that we're going the right direction, or maybe Russ needs to go to the right or the left or whatever. And you have someone making sure that the cells are in their proper positions, and someone making sure that the map that we're going in the right place, and then someone like Russ making sure that we're steering in the right direction. So we all have our
places
place
to fall off the boat all the time.
Yeah, that too. But we all have our
mermaid.
things. And there's a lot of things to do. Like Russ said, you can fish, and you can dig up treasure, and I mean, there's just, you can work for the factions, you can do the tall tales. There's just a ton of stuff to do in this game, and it's all really fun. I mean, you can find your own fun and excitement in it, really, depending on what you like to do.
Right. It's an open world sandbox game. I mean, it has limited adventures that they come out with during seasons and stuff. They come out with like build rat adventures or limited time events. I mean, it's constantly evolving, and they have dailies, all kinds of weird crap like that. Commendations. There's just so much you could do. We have put in a decent amount of time, but we haven't put in like huge chunks of time. So there's still stuff we have yet to even touch in the game from when we started playing a while ago. There's so many different cosmetic items you can get for your ship and your players. It's insane. It's, half our team's running around as bearded ladies, it's just, and we just have there's so much to do. And like Nick and Russ had said, there's so many factions. I mean, it's how you want to play. There's been plenty of times where we've just done voyage after voyage after voyage, which is basically going and accepting a quest, going to get this treasure. And then while you're out there, you happen to stumble upon more treasure. So you're sweating like crazy going back to the main port with like 10 treasure chests and some skulls. You're like looking around for people to come ambush you because you're like, I know they're out there just waiting to blow up my ship and steal my treasure. I would imagine those are Russ's least favorite of the voyages, because Russ ends up staying on the ship. There's 3 of us sort of jump off on the island while Russ has to stay on the boat and make sure some dingus doesn't get on our boat and just start stealing our treasure.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what I was meaning when I was asking Russ. You happen to get off the damn boat, because so many times he just got stuck there, and then you hear him scream, "They're coming!" That's when everybody's butt puckers.
Well, I usually have a little bit more manly voice than that, but yes, I do. I do like to yell at them. But when you think about a game of service, and you think of a subscription based within Xbox Game Pass, this game is simply well worth it. Just the Game Pass. I mean, we play games, and we've subscribed to games for years. We've played MMOs. We've played just about anything you can imagine for a subscription base. And just alone with the games that we get, or even if you just took this game by itself, this game by itself is easily worth $5 a month on a subscription pass, easily. And then you get everything you get along with it. I mean, this is one of the first. Okay, so since March of 2018, since the game came out on Game Pass, it has always been installed in my Xbox. Always. I have never deleted it. That and Siege are the 2 games that I always have installed on my game, just in case the guys want to play. I mean, there are other games I do that have deleted that we've played together, but those 2 games have always stayed installed.
Yeah, they're perfect, jump in and just chill games. I mean, we can get in there and, we can talk about what we're going to do on next week's shows or whatever, just sit and BS, just cut jokes and being stupid guys. It's a great game for that. The content that it has is fantastic. This is the way a live service should be ran for a game, plain and simple. You don't give up on it when you have some tough times. I think the current player count, average player count was like 28, just over 28,000. So I love this game. It's a great game to jump in and out of. It really is. And like Russ said, I don't delete mine unless I absolutely have to, but it usually gets back in there in a month. So
cool. I mean, all positive things to say about this one. It sounds like, we all enjoy it. We all can enjoy a co-op game fairly easy. I mean, we all know that if it's got co-op in it, we're going to try it. And even if it's bad, we're going to play it for a while. But this one's actually good, and we all can't beat it because it's on Game Pass for free for us. They do have cosmetics that you can purchase, and they also have some type of purchasable pass. And I don't know what the pass gives you because I didn't really look into it, but I did see if these has some type of purchase pass that you can get. I don't know if it gives you bonus to reps or what it does, but anybody seen what that pass gives you or know what that pass is?
I'm not sure what it gives you, but it's like a season pass, like Call of Duty and Apex and stuff like that has, like a battle pass, like Fortnite and stuff. So I don't know
they call
if
it the plunder pass or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's just full of cosmetics, but that you can just get for free by paying for that subscription.
So purchasing the plunder pass will grant players access to pirate emporium items and additional ancient coins as the season rewards. These cosmetics are items, a mix of current stock and easily access items to be released later in date.
So it's additional items. Because, the contents for the seasons are free. They're not charging you for those. I mean, you can get those. So it sounds like you may be locked out of some cosmetic gear, or it may just be harder to obtain. You got to play longer, like we said, to get that material.
Well, as we were leveling through it, whenever we level through, there was a set of awards, and then if you were a plunder pass owner, you also got another set of awards. And there's like 2 or 3 that we've missed out. I think we're like level 12 or 13 already, and I think at 5 and 10 there were other rewards. But yeah, I mean, I don't know in any other day if we played a little bit more that it wouldn't be worth purchasing that as well. But we don't play enough, I think, to purchase that at this time.
Right. Yeah, we bounce around a bit too much. Cool. So it sounds like we all thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, we can all enjoy a co-op game fairly easily, and Game Pass makes it all automatically a play for us. Any co-op game that comes to Game Pass, we almost always jump in just to at least try it. Anybody got other things they want to talk about on this game before we wrap it up? Nick, Shane, Russ, additional comments?
I believe it's worth the booty that I paid for.
Any additional pirate commentation or pirate puns? Shane's all about the booty.
Yeah, it's definitely worth Game Pass if you have it. And if you don't, it's on Steam and it's on Xbox. So if you don't have it, it's definitely worth the purchase. I think you'll have a lot of fun playing it. I think you'll get definitely your money's worth. It's going to be a lot cheaper if you just go for a month or 2 of Game Pass. But if you want to purchase the game, I think the game's not super expensive either. So either way, doesn't matter. There's a lot of content. There's a lot of fun to be had. If you got a group of friends you want to play with, perfect game to play with them with. So highly recommended.
Awesome. Yep. Can't beat it. Cool. Well, just remember, mateys, Captain D's doesn't cure or prevent scurvy, so make sure you get something that does. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we hope to catch you in the next one.
See ya.